Now, in our last game versus Barnsley, we got a brief glimpse of just how potent our attack can be for the season. So for the game tomorrow evening, this provides us another opportunity to test out our new attack and hopefully bang in the goals first. I personally think potentially stubborn West Brom team who aren't as bad as their recent results are suggesting they are. In today's match preview, I'm going to break down Frank Lampard's press conference. I'm going to go through my predicted lineups for the game tomorrow. I'm going to speak about our opponents in West Brom, the players you need to watch out for, the tactics they use, etc, etc. Plus, I'm going to give you guys my score predictions right at the end, so make sure you stay tuned. Before I continue on, I want to say a big shout out to everyone that went right to the end of my match review. All you guys who typed in Nini knows in the comment section, salute to you guys, I really appreciate it. And without wasting any more time, after one quick plug, if you like today's video, smash that like button. I'm gonna get over 4,000 likes for today's video, and without wasting no more time, we get straight into things, starting with Lampard's press conference earlier this afternoon. Now, Lampard starts the press conference, and immediately we get news that our new goalkeeping signing in Edouard Mendy won't be taking any part in tomorrow's game. As Lampard has said, he's just signed for the club recently. He hasn't trained as much with us at this point in time, so naturally, he's not really in contention for that team tomorrow. Moving on, and I personally thought that Lampard was a bit coy in regards to whether Ben and Thiago Silva might play in tomorrow's game. Now yes, he did mention that both players are fully fit, but he also told us that next Tuesday we have another game coming up. So could this be Lampard maybe letting us know very early on that for the new signings that have come late into the team, your Ben, your Thiago Silvas, they might need some more match time and preparation because they haven't had any preseason. So maybe Lampard might use one of them in tomorrow's game and maybe not both. So we'll find out by tomorrow. But one thing we found out for tomorrow already, you guys, is that both Christian Pulisic and Ziyech won't be taking any part in tomorrow's game. Now, we've seen the photos on the socials, the players are training again, they're getting their fitness back up, and there are some hopes that maybe one of these guys might be fit for tomorrow. It's not all bad news. Lampard gave us the news that we have been waiting for, and he said that both players should be fully fit for match contention in next week's game. So there's a big possibility, you guys, that we will finally see Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech playing together in the same team. I'm here for it. We all are. It's going to be absolutely exciting. And the fact that we have such a mad attack already, and we're going to add in Pulisic and Ziyech. Lampard was then asked about Pulisic and his injury concerns because, we all know that Pulisic has had a really long injury history, and that's something that Lampard is aware of. Now, as he said, he understands that Pulisic, his personality, his mentality, he wants to play every week, but the reality is due to the explosiveness of the player, he might need to be managed more this season. So is this potentially letting us know that both Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic are going to get a lot of share minutes this season? We'll find out. Now to end with the final 2 points, Lampard mentioned that he won't speak about the future of Declan Rice. He's not about that right now. And in regards to both Jorginho, who has been recently linked to Arsenal today, and Rudiger, Lampard confirmed and reiterated that they will find the best solution for every single party. So that basically tells us that if the money's good, both Jorginho and Rudiger could be leaving the club. But there you guys, that was the press conference. We now move on to the predicted lineups for tomorrow's game. And to give you guys a mini intro before I actually get down into tackling the predicted teams, I want to start off by speaking about Kai Havertz. Now, we saw in the last game versus Barnsley, Kai playing in his number 10 role, a role that we most likely will see him play throughout the entire season. Well, the question is he going to maintain playing in that same position in tomorrow's game? Now, there's a reality we have to accept, and I think we keep forgetting all the time, is the fact that there hasn't been a pre-season. Normally during pre-seasons, you have about 5, 6, 7 games where, the coaches, the team, they can build their understanding and get used to each other's game. So in that sense, it was very smart for Lampard to use Kai out wide in a role where he wouldn't be as involved, which would allow him to get used to the pressing demands, the defensive phase. That would allow him to acclimatise to the Premier League too, and of course, get some more space to play in the wide positions. Sometimes I feel like too many opinions and critiques are too definitive, and they're not based on the full picture, the full context. It's just based on what you're seeing from here. So personally, I wasn't really about that criticism, and to be honest, for the lineups I'm going to discuss, one's going to be based on Kai continuing to play as a number 10, and one will be Kai playing down the right hand side too. So we start with the first lineup. I've gone for a 4-2-3-1. Up front, I've got Tammy Abraham, and I would like to continue to see Tammy and Kai play together. I feel like they both naturally complement each other's game. Already, that telepathic understanding in the last game was very beautiful to see. On either side of them, I'd probably have Timo Werner and Mason Mount. Now, with Mason Mount, he's really in that team for the tactical flexibility he brings. We have to remember that we're a team that will play 4-3-3, that will play 4-2-4, that will play 4-2-3-1, and having a Mason Mount allows you to play with that flexibility. So I expect him to play too. In midfield, I've got Cover and Kante, and in defense, I'm only going for Ben and not Thiago. I feel that Chilwell will play on the left-hand side with Zuma, Tomori, Reece James, and Kepa in goal. The reality is that at the moment that Thiago Silva went off in the 60th minute in the last game, well, that told me that he's not fully fit just now, so expect him to play in the game next Tuesday. With this lineup, I'm excited to see how both Tomori and Zuma are going to cope together. Let's see how far their partnership has grown and really blossomed since last season. Tomori, since he's played his first few games this season, I've been very impressed. We all have been, and I like to see how they both do together. Seeing the attack of Werner, Tammy, and Kai, that's going to be very exciting to see. You know, Tammy is a very intelligent player that knows how to move into space, so he's going to have so much fun playing alongside them. But there you guys, that was the first predicted lineup. For the second predicted lineup, I've gone for a 4-2-2-2. Now, with this formation and this system, it does allow us to be extremely flexible and dynamic in game. You know, certain times we might move into a 4-3-3 or, you know, even a 4-1-4-1. That's the type of tactical beauty that we do get right now, and that's one of the main reasons why we signed the specific players we did in this current window. In this lineup, you guys, I have both Werner and Tammy Abraham up front. In the wide cam areas, I've got Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. Now, does it matter that they start in the wide areas? No, because in game, these guys have the freedom and license to roam where they want to help to obviously punish the opposition team. So let's not take where they start too seriously. I think by now we should know that players don't stay in that position forever. In midfield, I've got Cover and Kante. In defense, of course, I've got Zuma, I've got Tomori, and I have Emerson and Kepa. And the main reason for that is that maybe Lampard might decide to introduce Ben as a second half sub instead of actually starting him in the game tomorrow, which wouldn't surprise me. So there you guys, they are my two predicted lineups for tomorrow's game. With the final segment, let's talk about our opposition in West Brom. Let's talk about their key players, the manager, their style of play, and the things we can do to get them 3 points in tomorrow's game. Now, right now for West Brom, things have been especially peak with the start of their Premier League careers. Right now, they've lost 2 games, one versus Leicester City 3-0 and a 5-2 defeat to Everton 2. And on top of that, they got knocked out of the Carabao Cup by losing on penalties 5-4 to Brentford. So right now, things are looking a bit peak. West Ham are one of the strongest teams in the Championship last season, but right now they have to step up and compete. Now, based on the fact that, let's say, their goal difference in the league table is not good right now, -6, they're right at the bottom of the table. Are they a team that we shouldn't respect? And is this an easy, guaranteed 3 points? Personally, I don't think so, and my main reason for that is that after watching their game versus Everton, before that red card that Gibbs got, I thought that West Brom looked very solid, very compact, and made it very difficult for Everton to really break them down and get at them. In a sense, it made me understand why Bilic has been using this 5-4-1, because it is quite dynamic in its own right. Now, off the ball, they like to defend in a 5-4-1. That gives them the possibility to really congest those central areas. Now, this could be quite dangerous for us because we do a lot of our best work between the lines. But even as we saw in that recent game versus Barnsley, with the first 15-20 minutes when they pressed us really high, they were very compact, they blocked those channels from us actually passing the ball into midfield. You know, we were having issues. What happened to Barnsley though was the fact that over time they grew more tired, more spaces started to open out wide, and from then on we passed balls out wide really quickly and opened those spaces up between the lines. So in that sense, I get the vibe that this could be quite similar to what we see in the game versus West Brom. Of course, West Brom have more fitness, they're stronger, they're better tactically too, so it is going to be harder than that game versus Barnsley. So in that sense, I feel that breaking down West Brom could be quite difficult until the first goal comes. But to really boost our chances even more, I feel there's 3 players you have to pay great attention to. Those 3 players are Romain Sawyers, Pereira, and Diagana as well. Now, Diagana and Pereira scored some great goals for Everton. They bring that imagination, that creativity, and to be honest, I think they're both quality players. Now, I mentioned earlier how West Brom are a very dynamic team. Off the ball, 5-4-1, but when they attack to break teams down, they actually shift to a 4-2-3-1. Now, the plan is that your wide players and your Diaganas and your Pereiras, they're going to move more in fields, moving more between the lines, making more of a, 3 counts in the middle of the pitch. You have your Romain Sawyer's, pretty good deep line playmaker who has good passing range, can pass between the lines as well. He's very important for West Brom to be able to play out from the back and actually build up some attacks too. If we can pressure Romain, if we can limit his influence, which can be done, then that's going to limit the amount of balls and quality service that West Brom's attack can receive, because I feel like their attack has goals. Callum Robinson, he actually scored against us last season, partnered alongside Diagana and Pereira, who can score from free kicks, who can produce magical moments, exceptionally skillful, a player I feel is going to be very exciting in the Premier League too. We definitely have to respect them and actually approach this game very professionally. For me though, I feel if we target them from set pieces, that could be an area that we really just blossom from, because at the start of the season, West Ham have been pretty poor defending set pieces. Against Leicester City conceding 2 penalties, and against Everton conceding more opportunities from set pieces too. I feel like right now we look a lot stronger in these areas, and I think we can do something. Against West Brom, we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to move that ball from left to right to slowly open the spaces up out wide to find our key attacking players between the lines. I personally feel like congesting our play into one area of the field would be amazing, because now with players like your Ben Chilwells and Timo Werners, we can create the space from down the opposite flank to go 1v1 and get out their defense. So personally, I do feel confident against West Brom, and I predict that we are going to win tomorrow's game. I'm going to predict that we get a clean sheet as well, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 win. And maybe I'm too gassed after the last game, but to be honest with you guys, I think we can get the result versus West Brom. So there you guys have it. That was my match preview for that game tomorrow. What did you guys think? I hope you enjoyed. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. I'll catch you guys later tomorrow with some more match day content.